Hello and welcome to your practice. Spring has sprung and we are slowly making our way into spring here in Buffalo, New York. But as long as there's no snow, I'm a happy gal. So keeping that in mind for today's practice, as there's a natural shift into this season where there's longer days, more daylight, and just more activity, right? And so the intention of today's practice is to just shake off some of winter's heaviness and sluggishness and just welcome some space in for abundance and energy. So we'll move through some sun salutations and vinyasa type style yoga today just to help integrate that into the body. So we will start at the top of our mat. And before we dive into everything, I just wanted to find the breath and warm up the body. So meeting at the top of our mat, maybe lifting all 10 toes and laying them back down, and even lifting the heels and lengthening them back as you lay them down. So really making this imprint with both feet. Maybe keep a slight bend in the knees, rolling the shoulders down and back. Palms can face forward. And if it feels comfortable, closing the eyes down or letting them be heavy. And just finding the breath here. Allowing yourself to arrive in this space. Tracing the breath in and out. And maybe noticing these opposing forces of the feet grounding down, really pressing down, and the crown of the head reaching up, finding length. Maybe begin to deepen the breath. And just observing how you're feeling today, how you're showing up. Maybe a little bit sluggish, maybe more energized and eager. And all is welcome. One more full round of breath here as we set the stage for our practice. Maybe a little hum. Good. And if the eyes are closed, you can open them as you inhale, lift the arms all the way up. And we'll come into Kali Mudra. So interlacing the fingers, leaving the pointer fingers and thumbs out, maybe also known as Charlie's Angels. And reaching the hands up towards the sky, rolling the shoulders down and back, maybe keeping a slight bend in the elbows. An option to keep the feet hip distance or maybe bringing them together. And we'll first find a gentle back bend. So exhale, begin to lean back, finding a nice opening in the front of the body. And just warming up here. Good. Breathing deeply. Heart reaches forward. And then inhale yourself back to center. And then exhale, hands reach over towards the right as the hips shift towards the left, coming into a lateral stretch. So really breathing into the left side of the body. Seeing if you can relax the shoulders away from the ears. One more breath here. Inhale yourself back up to center. And then exhale over towards the other side. Hips go towards the right as the hands reach towards the left. Big side body stretch. Staying here for about 2 rounds of breath. Really finding some opening and length here. Good. And then inhale yourself back up. Good. We'll come into a forward fold. So maybe step the feet back out, hip distance if they're not already. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky, and then exhale, release them as you hinge from the hips, deep bend in the knees, pour forward into a forward fold. And keeping this really soft, really gentle, deep bend in the knees, baby belly comes to thighs as you let the head pour out. And maybe bending into one knee a little bit more and then the other. Really feeling into the hamstrings, waking up the lower body. Good. Especially if this is the first time that you're moving your body today, it can be helpful just to get some gentle movement to help warm up and circulate the blood flow. All right. And then go ahead and press down through the feet, deep bend in the knees as you rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. All right, so we're going to move through some sun salutations. We'll do this about 3 times, and then we'll progressively add on. So relax the hands down by the sides. Inhale, lift the arms all the way up. Exhale, fold forward, deep bend in the knees, release down. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale, release down, step back into plank pose. So inhale here, pressing the ground away, option to always drop down to the knees. And then your choice of vinyasa, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. We'll meet laying down in a prone position. So exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest into higher low cobra. Exhale, release down, tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Staying here for a full round of breath. Inhale, and maybe sigh it out. Gaze up at the hands, either step or hop to the top of the mat, meeting in a forward fold. Inhale, press down through the feet, lift all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Twice more. Inhale, arms lift up. And then exhale, heart led as you pour forward. Inhale, find your version of a flat back. Exhale, release down. Either step or jump back into plank. Inhale, strong core, press the ground away. In your choice of vinyasa, either knees, chest, chin, or rolling forward through chaturanga, in finding cobra, or up dog as you inhale. Up dog, the thighs are lifted off the ground, chest reaching forward. Exhale, send the hips back, downward facing dog. Pausing for a cycle of breath. Breathe in fully. Exhale completely. Gaze up at the hands, either step or hop to the top of the mat, meeting in a forward fold. Inhale yourself all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Last time here. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, heart-led as you pour forward into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, release down, either step or hop back into plank. Inhale here. Exhale, your version of vinyasa. Meeting in cobra or up dog as you inhale. Exhale, send your hips back, downward facing dog. Full round of breath. And then gazing up at the hands, either step or hop to meet in a forward fold. Inhale, lift yourself all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Good. All right. Let's add on. Inhale, lift the arms up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release down and come into plank. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And then exhale back into downward facing dog. Pause here. Breathe in deeply. And exhale fully. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Staying here for a round of breath. And then lengthen the right leg into tripod down dog. Exhale, knee to nose, puff up the back of the heart, and step the right foot through. Lower the back knee. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Staying here for a moment. Inhale, find length in the spine, reaching through the crown of the head. Exhale, see where you can soften. All right. Inhale here. And then exhale, we'll come into a low lunge twist. So option to bring the hands into prayer, left tricep to the outside of the right thigh, or placing the left hand on the outside of the right thigh and just rotating yourself towards the right. So finding what's available to you today in your practice, knowing that we show up in different bodies every day. Option to lift that back knee. Steady breath. Exhale, release the hands to frame the foot. And we're going to come into pyramid pose. So maybe stepping that back foot in slightly and then lengthening the right leg. Pour forward. Option to always keep a bend in that right knee. And taking a moment to breathe into the space. Bend the right knee. Bring the hands towards the top of the mat, and we're going to find warrior 3 or airplane pose. So begin to shift the weight forward as you lift the back toes. So squaring off the hips. Option to keep the fingers down on the mat to help stabilize, or maybe bringing them into Anjali Mudra, prayer pose. Staying here, steady breath. Shakes and wobbles are welcome. And then on your inhale, we're going to come into one leg mountain. So bringing knee up towards the chest. Fingertips reach up high towards the sky. And then exhale, cross the left ankle over thigh as you sit the hips back into standing figure 4. Hands to heart center. Breathing deeply here. Nice strong movement. Inhale back to one leg mountain. And then exhale, release down. Maybe give a little shake before we move into the other side. All right, meeting in Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, the arms go wide, reach up overhead, and then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, find a halfway lift. And then exhale, release, step or hop back to plank. And then your choice of vinyasa, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Finding cobra or up dog. Exhale, send the hips back, downward facing dog. Pausing here for a breath in and out. Inhale, the left leg lifts. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Good. Straightening out that left leg into tripod down dog. And then knee to nose as you puff up the back of the heart, stepping the left foot through. Drop the back knee. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Staying here for a full cycle of breath. Inhale, find length. Exhale, soften. Inhale here. And then exhale, find your version of a low lunge twist. Maybe tricep comes to thigh or hand comes to thigh. Rolling the shoulders back, drawing the chest forward, and then option to lift that back knee. Finding your breath here. And then release the hands to frame the foot and find pyramid pose. Maybe stepping that back foot in slightly and lengthening the front leg as you pour forward. 2 rounds of breath here. Bend the knee, bring the hands towards the top of the mat, and we'll make our way into warrior 3. So begin to shift the weight, slight bend in that standing leg as you lift the back toes up off the ground, finding length in the back of the neck, and an option to keep the hands on the ground or maybe bringing hands to prayer pose. Good. Breathing deeply. And then on your next inhale, we're going to bend the knee, meet in one leg mountain. Knee comes towards the chest. Inhale here. Exhale, cross ankle over thigh as we sit the hips back, meeting in a standing figure 4. Keeping the chest lifted. Breathing here. Inhale, one leg mountain. And exhale, release. Maybe give it a little shake. Good. And we'll do that one more time on each side, and we're going to get right into it. Inhale, the arms left. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale, release. This time, step back into downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale, the right foot lifts. Exhale, knee to nose, round the back as you step the foot all the way through. Drop the back knee. Inhale, lifts you up. Low lunge. Exhale, hands come to prayer as you meet in a low lunge twist. Drawing shoulder blades together, rotating the chest open. Option to lift that back knee. Steady breath. Exhale, release the hands to frame the foot and find pyramid pose. Pour forward. Inhale here. Exhale, begin to bend that front knee. Hands come to the top of the mat. Lift the back toes, warrior three. Option to stay here or bring hands to heart center. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, nice slow controlled movement, coming into one leg mountain. Breathing in and exhale, seated figure four. Hands to heart center. Chest stays lifted as the hips go back. Inhale, one leg mountain. And exhale, release down, hands to heart center. Give a little shake. And we'll do that on the other side. Finding stillness. Inhale, the arms lift. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Step back, downward facing dog. Finding your breath here. Inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose, round the back as you step the left foot through. Drop the back knee. Inhale, press down through that front foot. Lift you up. And then exhale, finding your low lunge twist. Drawing shoulder blades together as you rotate the chest open. And option to lift that back knee. Slowing down your breath. Exhale, release the hands to frame the foot, making our way into pyramid pose. Lengthen and fold forward. On your next exhale, begin to bend that front knee. Hands come towards the top of the mat. Shift yourself forward as you lift the back toes. Staying here or bringing hands to Anjali Mudra, heart center. Finding steadiness. Inhale, slow and controlled movement as you come into one leg mountain. Exhale, ankle over thigh as we meet into standing figure four. Base of the thumbs maybe pressing into the sternum as the sternum kisses back, encouraging the chest to stay lifted and open. Inhale, one leg mountain. And exhale, let it go. Hands to heart center. Release the hands down by the sides. Taking a moment, slowing the breath down. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, hinge from the hips into a forward fold. Step back into table. And then send the hips back, child's pose. Arms can be extended long. Forehead rests on the ground. And just staying here for about 3 rounds of breath. Really breathing into the back body. Feeling it expand as you inhale. And allowing yourself to soften with every exhale. Good. On your next inhale, begin to walk the hands back towards you as you sit up on the shins. Maybe finding some shoulder rolls as you settle into a seated position. Good. And then let's take some spinal circles. So maybe 3 in one direction. Finding some movement in the spine. Maybe getting the head involved. And then going in the other direction. Good. Meeting in center. And we'll take one more movement before we close out. Coming into a gentle twist. So inhale here. And then exhale, rotate towards the right. Maybe left hand comes to the outside of the thigh. Fingertips can plant behind. Rolling the shoulders down and back. Crown of the head reaches up. And taking a nice deep breath here. On your next inhale, come back through center. And then exhale over towards the other side. Gentle twist. Rinsing out here. And then inhale back to center. Maybe taking 3 closing rounds of breath. Eyes can be open or closed. Inhale here. And exhale, sigh it out. Twice more. Inhale fully. And audible exhale out. Once more. Inhale. And exhale, sigh it out. Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this practice was of benefit for you. Maybe just taking a moment to observe the effects of your practice. And yeah, thank you so much for your time and energy. And I look forward to seeing you next time somewhere on your mat. Ciao.